Krishna Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Ram.
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। Hare Krishna everyone. So today is Saturday, 9th of December. It is Margasesha Masa or Keshava Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Dwadasi Tithi. So today break the fast between 7:53 and 10:32 a.m. So still we have another 1 hour and 20 minutes to start. So apart from that, there are few other events. Today is the disappearance day of Shri Kaliya Krishnadasa. So the few lines about Kaliya Krishnadasa from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is from the special Vaishnava days. The 22nd devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu was Kala Krishnadasa, who was the 9th covered boy. He was a first-class Vaishnava and did not know anything beyond Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gaura Ganoddesh Deepika 132, it is said that Kala Krishnadasa, who was also known as Kaliya Krishnadasa, was formerly a Gopa of a covered boy of the name Lavanga. He was one of the 12 covered boys. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, Kaliya Krishnadasa had his headquarters in a village named Akaihata, which is situated in the district of Burdwan within the jurisdiction of the post office and police station of Katwa. It is situated on the road to Navadvipa. Akaita, one has to go from Bhandal Junction station to the Katwa railway station and then go about 2 miles, or one has to get off at the Danihata station and from there go on 1 mile. The village of Akaihata is very small. In the month of Chaitra, on the day of Varuni, there is a festival commemorating the disappearance day of Kala Krishnadasa. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu continued, here is a simple Brahmana named Krishnadasa. Please accept him and take him with you. That is my request. So this Krishnadasa known as Kala Krishnadasa is not the Kala Krishnadasa mentioned in the 11th chapter verse 37 of the Adi Leela. So the Kala Krishnadasa mentioned in the 11th chapter is one of the 12 Gopalas who appeared to substantiate the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is all known as a great devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. The Brahmana named Kala Krishnadasa, who went with Sri Chaitanya to South India and later to Bengal, is mentioned in the Madhya Leela, 10th chapter, verse 60-79. So one should not take these two to be the same person. There are two different personalities, Kala Krishnadasa. One is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and another person is with Nityananda Prabhu. Okay, so that is about from the Vaishnavans perspective. So we shall quickly enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sudha Goswami is narrating about how Parikshit has seen the Semika Rishi. Semika Rishi, he was in his meditation, deep meditation, which is the Stana Trayat Param Praptam. So he has transcended Jagruti, Swapna, Shushuptishu, and then Brahmabhotam Avikriyam. So in that state, all his body was Viprakirna Jatachannam Rauravena Ajinena cha. His hair was matted and it is with lumps of hair and it is scattered here and there on his body. Viprakirna Jatachannam Rauravena Ajinena cha. And he was wearing a skin of a stag or a deer skin. Rauravena Ajinena cha. Visheshattalu Udakam Tata Bhotam Ayachata. And Parikshit, when his palate was dried, his tongue was dried, and with so much of thirst, he asked for water. Udakam tata bhutam ayachata. He requested for water to the person who is in the samadhi. So likewise, Sutta Goswami yesterday he said. So today Sutta Goswami he is continuing and what Parikshit has done. So and what Parikshit is thinking by looking at. So he's thinking as soon as the king comes to the ashrama, and he's thinking he did not receive the welcoming words and giving the asana and the argya. So likewise, he was not welcomed properly. And so in such a way, he was thinking and he got angry. So here, Parikshit did not know that he was in the deep meditation, but he's thinking that he did not give me, he did not welcome me. Likewise, he's thinking. So Parikshit was stuck with extreme hunger and thirst. So at that time, he's thinking like that. So we are in the first canto, chapter 18, verse number 28. अलब्धतृणभूम्यादिः असम्प्राप्त अर्घ्यसूनृतः अवज्ञातम् इवात्मानं मन्यमानः चुकोपः. Alabdha-trunabhumi adihi. And he did not receive, having not received the seat of straw, trunabhumi. It is the a mat made with the straw, or it is a dharba. In other language, it is called dharba. It is a having not received this seat of straw, bhumi, that is the place to sit, asana, adihi, and many other things, and so on. Asamprapta argya sunrutaha, and they were not properly received. Asamprapta argya sunrutaha, and argya is generally given to the person whoever is coming home, like giving the water. So that is always auspicious. Water for reception, argya. And sunrutaha, and welcoming words, the sweet words. Even the enemy also comes to the home, we give the water and all these things, and we say sweet words. That is the way of Sanatana Dharma. Avajna, so alabdha truna bhumyadihi asamprapta argya sunrutaha. He did not receive all these things. Now, avajnatam ivatmanam. So in such a way, avajnatam, he was being neglected. Ivatmanam, personally, he was thinking like that. I did not get enough welcoming words and properly received. Likewise, Parikshit was thinking. And what he was thinking? Manyamanaha chukopaha. Thinking like that, chukopaha, he became angry in that way. Alabdha truna bhumyadihi asamprapta argya sunrutaha avajnatam ivatmanam manyamanaha chukopaha. So translation for this verse is, the king, not received by any formal welcome, by means of being offered a seat, place, water, and sweet addresses, considered himself neglected, and so, thinking, he became angry. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The law of reception in the courts of the Vedic principles states that even if an enemy is received at home, he must be received with all respects. He should not be given a chance to understand that he has come into the house of an enemy. When Lord Krishna, accompanied by Arjuna and Bhima, approached Jarasandha in Magadha, the respectable enemies were given a royal reception by King Jarasandha. The guest enemy, namely Bhima, was to fight with Jarasandha, and yet they were given a grand reception. At night, they used to sit down together as friends and guests, and in the day, they used to fight, risking life and death. That was the law of reception. The reception law enjoins that a poor man who has nothing to offer his guest should be good enough to offer a straw mat for sitting, a glass of water for drinking, and some sweet words. Therefore, to receive a guest, either friend or foe, there is no excuse. It is only a question of good manners. When Parikshit, when Maharaja Parikshit entered the door of Shemika Rishi, he did not expect a royal reception by the Rishi because he knew that saints and rishis are not materially rich men. But he never expected that a seat of straw, a glass of water, and some sweet words would be denied to him. He was not an ordinary guest, nor was he an enemy of the Rishi, and therefore the cold reception by the Rishi astonished the king greatly. As a matter of fact, the king was right to get angry with the Rishi when he needed a glass of water very badly. To become angry in such a grave situation was not unnatural for the king. But because the king himself was not less than a great saint, his becoming angry and taking action were astonishing. So it must be accepted that it was to ordained by the supreme will of the Lord. The king was a great devotee of the Lord, and the saint was also as good as the king. But the will of the Lord, the circumstances were so created that they became ways to the king's becoming unattached to family connection and governmental activities, and thus becoming a completely surrendered soul unto the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. The merciful Lord sometimes creates such awkward positions for his pure devotees in order to drag them towards himself from the mire of material existence. But outwardly, the situations appear to be frustrating to the devotees. The devotees of the Lord are always under the protection of the Lord, and in any condition, frustration or success, the Lord is the supreme guide for the devotees. The pure devotees therefore accept all conditions of frustration as blessings from the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is very beautiful purport, and in the real circumstance, in our day-to-day real life, we also experience all these kind of scenarios. So we do not know what is happening outside when we are dealing with the opposite person. Either he might be a devotee or a non-devotee. There are so many things. Every person he is dealing with some kind of business, either devotional business or material business. But here, when we are speaking about Krishna or something else, then something is also going on in their behind. So here, Parikshit, he was not sure. He was just stuck with hunger and thirst. He did not know that Shemikris was in the Samadhi. But he also know that what Samadhi means and everything else. But here, that is the awkward position for the devotee. So here, and also from the Sanatana Dharma, Prabhupada mentions, in reception of the codes of the Vedic principles, it is to receive even the enemy in a welcoming way. So then what happens? That is the manners. It's only a question of good manners. Like Jarasandha, even though he is the enemy of Krishna, and also Jarasandha, but he was a devotee of Vishnu, and he also gives charity to the Brahmanas, and he looks after the Brahmanas, and he is generous in those ways. But here, that is the question of good manners. So here, Parikshit's position was awkward, and he was expecting in that condition from the great sage, and he got angry. So here, and also Prabhupada mentions the circumstances were so created that they became ways to the kings become unattached to the family connection and governmental activities. This is very, very beautiful point. So generally, we also see that when a devotee is being engaged in the material things, when he is very soft-hearted and having divine qualities, the Lord doesn't allow him to go into material things. He will be dragged. He will create situation that they will get frustrated, and then they come back to Krishna. Tam tva gataham saranam saranyam sugruchya samsara taruh putaram. So these words, these few words, Devhuti Mata says, Tam tvam gataham saranam saranyam sugruchya samsara taruh putaram. Oh, my dear Lord, I have taken shelter at your lotus feet. Tam tva gataham saranam saranyam. I took the saranam at your lotus feet. Saranam saranyam. Subrutya samsara taruh putaram. When you think that this particular person is your brutya, subrutya samsara taruh putaram, what you do? Samsara taruh putaram. Taro is the tree, samsara tree, and kutaram is the axe. And then he will cut that samsara when the Lord thinks that he belongs to me. So that is the very beautiful thing. So here that is Prabhupada is mentioning. So and thus become a completely surrendered soul onto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So the merciful Lord sometimes creates such awkward positions for his few devotees in order to drag them towards himself from the mire of material existence. There are so many things. Everyone has got a very big story behind them. Every devotee has got a very big story. Just only thing is we need to give time to hear, that's all. And then we will hear the past times. The time will not be sufficient. Every devotee speaks like that. That is the way of the awkward positions happens in the devotee's life. So they'll be coming to Krishna's life. Here, but outwardly, the situations appear to be frustrating to the devotees. That is true. It is very, very difficult sometimes. Sometimes I don't have job. I wanted to buy a home. I need a mortgage. I need to support the family without working, but I don't have enough time to give it to the spiritual life. I will put the spiritual life behind. I will do it later on. But what happens? The material activities, they will steal the life from our lifespan, from our life. If we are living 100 years, if I just go and surrender ourselves there, of course we have to work. Bodily maintenance is it needs, and we need a home, we need a family. But here everything is balanced, and also we are also destined to whatever to be received. It is already predestined. We do not have to work too much and think about it. We have to allocate. The center point is Krishna all the time. When Krishna is fixed here in the center point, everything else will be automatically adjusted. That we need to understand. It is not that we straight away go and try to put the puzzles in the material activities. Then if I just put one puzzle, another puzzle doesn't match. So likewise, until we come to Krishna, lotus feet of Krishna. So that is the such awkward positions for his devotees to drag them towards himself from the mire of material existence, but outwardly the situations appear to be frustrating to the devotees. Devotees of the Lord are always under protection of the Lord, and in any condition, frustration or success, the Lord is the supreme guide for the devotee. This is once again, it is the in anything, either it is a success or a failure. Devotee always at the under protection of the Lord, and Lord is the supreme guide. So they accept all conditions of frustration as blessings from the Lord. It is the only way. Otherwise, there is no light outside of Krishna. Yata bhaso yata tamaha. Trutiyardham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chapmani. So likewise, Krishna also says in the Chatushlokya Bhagavata, it is a darkness. This material world is a darkness. Unless there is sun, we don't have dark. Unless we don't have light and heat. So these countries are hellish countries. See, for 6 months it is always dark and cold. We always need heat and light. Without that, we cannot survive. But still, we desire to come here. It is very just like a frog and a fly and a snake. Frog tries to catch a fly and snake tries to swallow the frog. And the time is swallowing the human. Human wanted to catch the pleasures coming from this temporary nice buildings and infrastructure, going here and there, pleasing weather likewise. So that is the awkward position. So here Prabhupada is in the pure devotees, therefore they accept all conditions of frustration as blessings from the Lord. It's a very beautiful verse, but purport. So likewise, Parikshit is thinking like that. Alabdhatruna bhumyadihi asamprapta argyasunritaha avajnatam ivatmanam manyamanaha chukopaha. So likewise, he was getting angry. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Carl Lang, November 14, 1969, London. It is a small letter. Can I request dear devotees, anyone would like to read this letter? Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Carl Lang, please accept my blessing. I beg to thank you very much for your letter dated October 26, 1969, and I am encouraged in read the content. Although you have been associating with us for a short time, I can understand that Krishna is giving you good opportunity to serve him nicely. It is very kind of you to be donating all of your earning to our settled temple, and surely Krishna will bless you for your sincerely. It is the willingness to serve which Krishna will to see in us. We have nothing to offer Krishna because he is the proprietor of everything but when he since that a living entity is trying to serve him, that is appreciated. In Bhagavad Gita, you have seen that Krishna says to offer him a leaf, a fruit, a flower, or even some water. Actually, the Supreme Lord has no necessity to request us to offer him this item or any other item, but he gives us the opportunity of serving him so that we may become qualified to enter back to Godhead. I am pleased to learn that you are chanting 16 rounds daily and studying our books carefully. You continue to do this in the association of devotee, and surely you shall come out successful in perfecting your existence in Krishna consciousness. Within 1 or 2 months, I shall be returning to Los Angeles, and at that time you may come to speak with me further. In the meantime, you continue to help Upendra and the others in the activities there. I hope that this will meet you in a good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from here?
Yes, it's very nicely just said, like, Krishna, like, is a proprietor of everything. So he doesn't, like, need anything because he's the, who is proprietor. So he doesn't need anything. But like still he has asked that give me the fruit, like flower in the Bhagavad Gita, to like to for us, for our benefit, so we can go back to Godhead and to and more. Like if you do the serve, then you are more connected with the Krishna. So it's just Krishna still asking us, but he doesn't want anything. So yeah, and he just say like yeah. Yeah, and I just said like continue chanting the 16th round in association with the devotee, and so yeah, so once you do like chanting and association with it, you will be perfect with the Krishna consciousness. So yeah, it's just something that I can read. Like Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for summarizing. It's a very beautiful points. Any other points, dear devotees?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah. What this Prabhupada is pointing to Carl. Is it Carl? That he should.
Yes.
Well, how important it is to surrender, because he's given up all his assets for Krishna consciousness, and he's really proud of that. And also, he's pointing out how important it is to chant 16 rounds and study the books, Prabhupada's books, and he's pleased with him because he's doing that, and he's cooperating as well with, and associating with pure devotees, senior devotees, and with this collaborative work, things will be really good for him. So it's a good advice, really, that it's all to do with, it's the service that he's talking about, and the opportunity is there for everybody, but not everybody takes it up, and that Carl has done so, and he really advising Carl that it will gain him a good place back to Godhead. So it's the opportunity he's taking is the best opportunity ever. And this connects also with the verse that we read about how when we engage in material assets, we actually end up in a real bad place. But however, the people who are not, when I think about in countries we come from, why have we left the country to go to a punishing country like this, which is cold, as you say, there's no light, it's dark and damp, and we have to work hard to get heat to keep us going, and light to see what we're doing. And why are we doing it? We are intelligent enough to stick to the happiness that we come from, really. When you think about it, it's very little we have, but we were happy. People, if you look at the countries that when the children are in the ghetto, they're happy where they are, and they smile, and they're really close to each other. But you take them out of that situation and you put them in a situation like this, they will run away. They're not happy. They feel so sad that they've left their happiness behind, the close ones, and the simple little things they do in the play area. They make their own enjoyment in playing activities, and they're happy, and they sleep well, and they play in rough areas, and but this happiness does not come from material gains. That's what is pointing really. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, very beautifully said, Mataji.
And you mentioned about the analogy about the frog, the fly, and the snake. That's a good analogy, Prabhu. Really beautiful. We are eating each other, and we try to get a strong base. We like the tree, but there's an axe available, and we cut it down ourselves. So how good is that? We destroy our purity, our material world destroys the spiritual world, and we deliberately do it, not realizing that it's getting us nowhere. We keep going and keep going. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. So advancing in the middle, that is the Pravritta Marga, that is Raga Upadi, Vairagya Raga Upadibhyam, Amanatu Upayalakshanan. 2 ways. One way is always there is no end, and it is keep on taking us to the darkness. On the other side, Nivritti Marga, so back to Godhead. So, and Krishna, so in this letter also, Krishna is all powerful, and he has whatever we do, it is for our benefit. He gives us the opportunity to serve him. Tatropanita balyo ravedhipi vivadrutaha atmaramam purnakamam nijalabhen nityada. He is the Atmaram, and whatever we do, like a lamp to the sun, a lamp offering to the sun, likewise we also offer some gifts to the Supreme Lord. So this is the Dwaraka people's mood when Krishna was coming from Hastinapura to Dwaraka, as we have seen very beautiful verse. And Preet Utpula Mukaha Prochu Harshagadgadaya Gira Pitaram Sarva Suhridam Avitaram Ivadbagaha. So with so much of happy faces, the children, they go to the father and then giving some like small gifts to the father. Father will be so pleased. Preet Utpulla Mukaha Prochuhu, and the face is so bright with smiles, then father will be so happy if they give something. And when we give off some small gifts to Krishna, he will be so much of happy. And it is an opportunity for us to serve him. And that in such a we become qualified to enter back to home, back to Godhead. It is very beautiful, excellent. And here that Kal Prabhuji, he is giving his earrings straight away. Previously, all these people, we used to have all the gold, no paper currency, just only the golds and ornaments like that, coins. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the asking for some kind of donations, they used to give all their jewels and everything for Krishna and his devotees. So that is the way. Whatever we have got possessions in our heart, in our bodily, like ornaments, something, just take it and just give it straight away. That is the attitude of a good manners as well in the previous days. Nowadays, paper currency in the bank, and also it takes some time, and then we don't know what is the value of paper currency in the future. So that is the situations. But whatever we have got in our possessions, just give it to Krishna. Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today afternoon, Krishna Club, Krishna Children's Club at 12 o'clock, and evening, Bhagavad Gita Sangha at Devashish Prabhu and Mampi Mataji's home. And the dear devotees kindly confirm to Devashish Prabhuji for the preparations as well, and also to accommodate. And also all these Kirtan Mangalachan prayers, Dasima prayers, they are facilitated by the house program devotees only. So kindly, but still we have got a Zoom session in the evening. So we will be hearing from the Nishkinchan Das Prabhuji, so who has been supporting us in the background. It is very nice to hear. It's been a long time. Kindly take that opportunity to hear from the Prabhuji. That's all from the announcements perspective from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any further updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Just to reiterate that there's the Krishna market today. The Krishna, well, it is Krishna Christmas market, where they have this every year, and it's a full day of it. So if anybody's interested, they do nice things there, like honey and stuff, special honey, and I'm sure some people have been, so they're aware it's happening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the update.
And I shall be at the book table, so please come along if you can.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other updates? Okay, there are no further updates, so then we shall move on to the next part of our program, Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is where Brahma has seen the Lord and Lord is reciprocating with Brahma. Okay, so we are in the second canto, chapter 9. So last Saturday we have seen the Lord says to Brahma that the tapasya is all his life and soul. Through that, he creates, he maintains, and he destroys. Srijami tapasa vedam, grasami tapasa punaha, bhivarmi tapasa vishwam, virime dusharan tapaha. So that is, everything is by tapasya. Tapasya is waking up early morning, attending the Mangalacharan prayers, at least see the Mangalacharan prayers through the devices, whatever we have got among the devotees, and do the japa. These are all austerities, penances. So in our material world, we don't have to go to the lonely places and meditate. Okay, so Lord says, I maintain it by same energy, I withdraw it, I create it through all such penance. Therefore, the potency is penancy only. So this one we have also seen in the last session. Okay, so we shall move to the next verse. So that is, now the Lord stopped speaking. Now Brahma is going to ask. Lord asked him, Varam Varya Bhadram te Vareshama Abhivanchitam Brahman Shreha Parishramah Pumsam Maddarshanavadihi. O Brahma, ask all the benedictions, whatever you want. But when we are asking, then we need to have a purity and also determination to ask whatever needs to be asked. So Krishna says, Brahman Shreha Parishamaha Pumsa Maddarshanavadihi. After so much of penances, one has to come to me to live with me. That is the one has to desire. That is the ultimate thing. But you can ask anything according to your free will. Yatechasi tata kuru, according to whatever you think is needed for you. So likewise, Brahma is going to ask now whatever. So let us see what he is going to ask. So Brahma Vavacham Bhagavan Sarvabhutânam Adhyaksho Avasito Guham Vedahi Apratiruddhena Prajnanena Chikishitam. So Brahma is asking, Bhagavan Sarvabhutânam Adhyaksho Avasito Guham. So, O my dear Lord, of all the living entities, and how you are situated, Bhagavan Sarvabhutânam. Bhagavan, out of all these living entities, Adhyaksho Avasito Guham. So Avastitaha, how situated within the heart. Vedahi Apratiruddhena. And so here, let us see, Vedahi Apratiruddhena Prajnanena Chikishitam. And how do you expand your activities? Chikishitam, pradhanena chikishitam, by superintelligence endeavors. And here, apratiruddhena, without any hindrances. So these are beautiful questions. So he's asking the Lord, please tell me all this, how you would situate in everyone's heart and how you expand your activities. Bhagavan sarabhotanam adjaksho avasito guham vedahi apratiruddhena pradhanena chikishitam. So Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as a supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superintelligence without hindrance whatsoever. So the Lord knows everything. And also, yeah, so he is the supreme director. Pradhanena Chikeshitam. He knows all the endeavors. So can I request the devotees? There are 3 paragraphs. Can I request first devotee to read first paragraph and second devotee last 2 paragraphs? Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, please.
The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord
Mataji, your voice is too low, Mataji.
Can you hear me?
A little bit better, Mataji.
The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart.
Mataji, we can't hear.
Okay. Oh, can you hear me now, Mataji?
Yes.
Much better, much. Yeah, Haribol.
Okay. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the witness, and as such, He is the supreme director of sanction. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruits of action, for without the Lord's sanction, no one can enjoy. For example, in a prohibited area, a habituated drunkard puts forward his application to the director of drinking, and the director, considering his case, sanction only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, the whole material world is full of many drunkards, in the sense that each and every one of the living entities has something in his mind to enjoy, and everyone desires the fulfillment of his desires very strongly. The Almighty Lord being very kind to the living entity, as the Father is kind to the Son, fulfill the living entity's desire for his childish satisfaction, which such desires in mind the living entity does not actually enjoy, but he serves the bodily whims unnecessarily, without profit. The drunkard does not derive any profit out of drinking, but because he has become a servant of the drinking habit and does not wish to get out of it, the merciful Lord gives him all facilities to fulfill such desires. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Can I request other devotee to read this next 2 paragraphs?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, may I read?
Yes, Mataji, please. Yeah.
The impersonalists recommend that one should become desireless, and other recommended banishing desires altogether. That is impossible. No one can banish desires altogether because desiring is the living symptom. Without having desires, a living entity would be dead, which he is not. Therefore, living conditions and desires go together. Perfection of desires may be achieved when one desires to serve the Lord, and the Lord also desires that every living entity banish all personal desires and cooperate with his desires. That is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji agreed to this proposal, and therefore he is given the responsible post of creating generation in the vacant universe. Oneness with the Lord there and the oneness with the Lord therefore consists of dovetailing one's desires with the desire of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires. The Lord, as the supersoul in the heart of every living being, knows what is in the mind of each living entity and no one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord within. By his superior intelligence, the Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desires to the fullest extent, and the resultant reaction is also averted by the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So now I request dear devotees, now we have been hearing this Bhagavatam. I also request dear devotees, you shed light from these points, what Prabhupada is mentioning, and also quoting some kind of references in Bhagavatam and example. So any
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I think this reminds me of like Dhruva Maharaj. Like sometimes like we might ask the Lord for something for no like he wanted a bigger kingdom than his father, etc. But then when he saw the Lord, then all those desires like kind of fade away. But Lord still knew what the desire in Dhruva's heart was, so he's not before. So even though he didn't want it afterwards, he still fulfilled it anyway. And that when we basically and like Krishna gives us everything anyway. Like we don't have to. He gives us what we need, and we should be happy with that. And everything else that additionally just causes pain. Like we think, oh, if we have this, we'll be happy. If we have that, we have a certain relationship. If we have a certain whatever, like we'll be happy. But actually, nothing really can bring us happiness. And even people that are drinking, they're drinking because of there's a vacuum inside them. There's something that they're missing, and that missing thing is Krishna. So everybody essentially is searching for Krishna, but depending on what exposure they've had to like spiritual understanding, and obviously Krishna does give that to them also within at some point. So it's Krishna that we're searching for, and all the other things we just think, oh, this will bring us happiness, because we are pleasure seeking. So even everybody is pleasure seeking. That's why, because we are made from that, Satchitananda kind of thing. So everybody's searching for Krishna, but they're just looking for it in the wrong place. And when we actually have realization of Krishna, then all those small things fade away, and you can kind of be happy in whichever situation you're in, because you're connected to Krishna. And Krishna's giving us anyway, like even when we were babies, like somehow, whether we had a good situation or a negative situation, somehow we're still here, and everything's still going on. So he's still providing anyway. So all the food is being made, and all the plants are whatever, and we're still here. So we're still being maintained. Like we might think that we go to work and whatever the endeavors, even ours, but even the intelligence is coming from him. So it's him that's essentially the provider. Yeah.
Mataji, so that is very beautiful points. It is actually the desire. This is whenever the son is desiring, father fulfills. And the director is not the enjoyer of the fruits of action. Krishna is not the name karma pale spraha. So he is not interested in any fruits of action. So he is in Atma Rama, and he gives everything for the child. Just like a drunkard put forward his application to the director of drinking, and the director considering his case. So sanctions only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, So the whole material world is full of many drunkards. Everyone are trying to enjoy. But they are going beyond their limits. That is the problem. So here, the just stopping the desires, it is completely. So sometimes this Mayavadis, they says that it is said in the Shiva Purana that how Lord Shankara is Sarva Karma Parityajyam Atra Cha Pripadhyate. Krishna is in the form of Shankaracharya. So I mean, when he has appeared as a Brahmana, Lord Shankara says to Parvati, when he appeared in the age of Kali as a Brahmana, and he has spread this philosophy, Sarva Karma Parityajyam Atra Cha Pripadhyate, and leave all these activities. So there are, for every philosophy there is some kind of reasons for it, but all, whether even the impersonals, if they're, as long as they're coming into Krishna and doubting everything in Krishna, then they have got a meaning, at least for some extent. So that is the main thing. So here impersonal statement that one should become desireless, that is not possible. It is practically, it is also experience in day-to-day life. We can't stop our mind to keep quiet even for a moment. It will drag us. Arjuna says, it is very difficult to control the mind. I can control the wind, but not the mind. Mind cannot stay without thinking. Controlling the mind, that's why Manushya is the living entity who has got the mind. And mind means yat sankalpa vikalpabhyam vartate kama sambhavaha. This is coming from the mode of goodness. Vaikarikat vikurvanat manah tattvam ajayata yat sankalpa vikalpabhyam vartate kama sambhavaha. This is sankalpa vikalpas, they were born out of the mind. And mind is the subtleness. And because the subtleness is there, to fulfill those sankalpa vikalpa, it needs a body, material body, particular kind of hands, legs, and then eyes, the skin to taste such kind of sense of touch. This material body tries to enjoy. So it is practically, it is not possible to become desireless. That otherwise there is no existence of this body. Prabhupada is giving. No one can banish desires altogether because desiring is the living symptom. Without having desires, a living entity would be dead, which he is not. Therefore, living conditions and desire go together. And here, what is the desire is just make all the desires that are perfection of desires may be achieved when one desires to serve the Lord. This is the Ambarish Maharaj's very beautiful pastime. How he has engaged all his senses, all his desires. But when we go to the material world to do it, yatasam haridechayam kurmonganiva sarvashaha. Indriyadebhyah tasya prajna pratishtita. We have to detect all the senses from the material world and then engage in the devotional service for the pleasure of Krishna. So to serve the Lord. And the Lord also desires that every living entity banish all personal desires and cooperate with his desires. That is Sanatana Dharma. That is Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. That is, can anyone say that verse? Ito Bhakti Radokshaje. And then what is the next line? Any day. What is the second line of that verse? Ito Bhakti Radokshaje. Ahektati apukta Yatma Suprasidati. When he serves, when he renders service to the Lord, then only Suprasidati. This is the prasidati is the very important. When we do service to the Lord, then only we become very pleasant. Otherwise, this mind, it cannot be controlled by any other means. So that is the last section of the Bhagavad Gita. And also that is Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Ye Vaishis Yuktaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. So here Brahmaji agreed to this proposal, and therefore he is given the responsible post of creating generations in the vacant universe. You see? Oneness with the Lord therefore consists of dovetailing one's desires with the desires of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I just ask then? I know this is like we discuss this every moment, but just the question is, what does Krishna desire from us? And individually, is it something different, or is it a collective thing, or is it
So Krishna desires somewhere or other we engage ourselves, all our time and all our wealth desires to render service to him, so that when we render service we develop the love and attachment to Krishna. When we do love and attachment to Krishna, we will never ever do bad things. First thing, we stop all the bad things, free from all contamination, and gradually make love towards Krishna. And at the end of throughout life, we spend in relation to only Krishna. And then the complete satisfaction to the heart when we have got a human body that which cannot be attained in any other living entities. Complete satisfaction when we leave that body in that state and we attain Vaikuntha planets, going back to Godhead. And here, if we do not render our service, we render something else which is not Krishna. We become attached to the material world, again come back to material world, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. So Krishna wanted, don't struggle unnecessarily. This is Dukkalayam Ashashvatam. Kim Punar Brahmanaha Punya Bhakta Rajashyastata Anityam Asukam Lokum Imam Prapya Bhajaswamam. All these great saintly kings, Brahmanas, everyone, they have thought Anityam Asukam Imam Lokya. Imam, they said Imam Prapya Bhajaswamam. That's why they have taken to the path of bhakti and they have attained me. वीतराग भय क्रोध मन्मया माम उपासिताः बहवो ज्ञान tapasa pota madbhavam agataः. So many people, they have come to me by living वीतराग भय क्रोध मन्मया माम उपासिताः बहवो ज्ञान tapasa pota. So many people, they are purified. बहवो ज्ञान tapasa pota madbhavam agataः. They attained my nature, which is eternal, blissful, knowledge, complete happiness. That is, Krishna wanted everyone. For example, you have got the knowledge and you wanted to give it to others. So what is your desire? You wanted to give the same happiness to the others. So likewise, Krishna is the always youthful and he is in the eternal body, and then that nature he wanted to give it to the conditioned souls. It is same as, it is very simple and straightforward. That is his desire.
okay? Thank you, Prabhu. That's
So
really
the message for Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. The message is to do with the gunas, as you say, Prabhu. So we are aware that there's goodness. One of them is goodness. So we caught in this triad, this triangle. Why is it we chose the two bad bits in that guna circle than to go along? Because it so clearly says about the good mode of goodness, what you should be doing. And everybody is looking for peace, aren't they, really? And if you take the mode of goodness, you get peace, you get serenity, you'll feel well, and you will, all your desires will be placed in the right place. So why is it that we so crazy that we hook on these two material, the passion and the and the other one, sorry, Krishna. So we've got endless desires, but we don't take the good and the one that really will lead us to this happiness we are all looking for. We're so satiated with this material, worldly enchantment of all the things that we see that glitters and is attractive. When it doesn't give us peace, why is it we flock to this wicked world and not take the beautiful peace and serenity with God, or serve God and reach that stage?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So that is very beautiful thing. It is that is the bewilderment. This is the Krishna's external and the bewilders. It is very difficult. We know it is, as a devotee, it is simple and straightforward. Why so many people doesn't take it? It is pleasing. It is as simple as that from a devotee's perspective. From that perspective, they think, it is very difficult for us. Still, I have got so many sins. I cannot go there right now. I have so many duties. I have got family and duty. And once everything is finished, and then they will like good. But by the time they're completely in the pure, complete mud of the all materials existence, and they don't have even bodily strength to progress in the spiritual. It is Krishna's bewilderment, the time. Antaha Purushurupena Kalarupena Yo Bahihi. Outside he acts as a time. He robes the life. People are so greedy to enjoy. Gataswardhamimam Deham. They're all enjoying like that until their body is older. It's Lord's external energy. It is very difficult.
But even we're caught in it because we left our comfortable, beautiful, hot country to come here.
Yes,
because we are actually chasing the happiness that is not happy.
that is true, Mataji. So this is once again bewilderment. Initially, just a show off.
Yes.
Countries, they will show off themselves. We are very great. This is our country is great, and then something, and then people get foolish. People they get attracted and they fall into that trap. That is this entire world is going on. Show off. Never ever trust the eyes. That is very important thing. Just only the authenticated the sound vibrations, and so in supporting to that, then only you can trust the eyes. Supporting to the sound, then only you can trust the eyes. Otherwise, just by looking at, never ever get attracted. So that's why Shruti, these Vedas have come into. They are the breathing of the Lord. We have to take only that knowledge coming from authoritative source. So many people in the tourists, in the advertisements, just only few seconds, and then everyone get attracted to the picture, and then they go in and waste their time and money, energy, everything. There are useless things. So that's why it is very difficult, but it will take some time to cultivate our devotion to Krishna. But among the devotees, it is not difficult. It will go very peacefully.
Yeah, we think we're going for for something to improve in a lot of ways, but then we lose our sight, don't we? Because we follow the sight, the eyes, what it sees, and then we want to be on. It's a competitive world, isn't it? You want to be better than the other person, so you're in this. What shall I say? You're on a route of getting. It's kind of what shall I say? I think of me better than the other person all the time, which is sad, isn't it?
Yes, Mother. So the only thing is that is good. Looking at the beauty is good, but you need to have a person who could explain that beauty, like who is the devotee. So see how Krishna has created this beautiful world. How he has got his potency in the spiritual world. When he person explains, then the consciousness of the materialistic person would change, and he would taste more. Who has created this beautiful world? and how much to give it to the other people, conditioned souls, how much beauty he would have got in his own abode. So when the sound is coming from a pure devotee next to him who is watching this material world, then that consciousness would change because
It
he
is.
hear the right source.
Yeah. It's like, as Prabhupada said, you're licking the jar of the honey. You're licking the lid of the honey jar. How would you know unless you open the jar and taste it? So this is a good analogy for us to think about what we're doing. We're licking the jar of the honey pot, but we're not getting the sweetness of it.
Yes, Mataji, yeah. So beautiful. So here, very Prabhupada is saying, all these desires, they need to be to serve the Lord, and desires with dovetailing one's desires with the desires of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires. The Lord has yes, Mataji.
So if you look to the Lord and you pay attention to him, he doesn't want much. So you're paying him attention. He reciprocates, doesn't he? He doesn't leave you out in the cold like the material world does. Like Maya does. Maya grabs you and she drops you, or he drops you. Like a ton of bricks, as the English people say.
Yes, Mataji, yeah. So the Lord knows what is in the mind of each and every living entity, and no one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord within. Sarvasya chahum hridisannivishtu matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. So he says, I give only the intelligence, because for everything is the desire is the main cause. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajo guna samudbhavaha. That's why we got this material body here. And also Lord give by his superior intelligence, that is, his Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desires to fullest extent, and the resultant reaction is also awarded by the Lord. Okay, so that is very beautiful thing.
So it's Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, was it?
This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Mataji.
No, I mean the one that we quoted just now about desires and.
Yes, in the 14th chapter.
Yeah, Haribol.
Okay, so that is Karanam Gunasangasya Sad Asadjoni Janmasu. So that is whenever he attaches to the material world, the Lord sees and he awards those results to the living entity. Okay, we shall go to the next verse. So here Brahma is asking. So previously Brahma says that, oh my dear Lord, you have you know everything what is going on, and Bhagavan Sarvabhutanam Adyaksho Avsito Guham Vedahi Aprisruddhena Pradhanena Chikishtam. You engage all these things under your superior directions. You are the director, Adyaksho Avsito Guham. You know everything. Now he is asking to tell all these things how you are going to execute all these things. Please let me know all these things. Likewise, Brahma is asking. So here, Tatapi nata manasya nata natayanaatitam paravare yatarupe janiyam te tvurupinah. That is very beautiful verse. So tatapi nata manasya nata natayanaatitam paravare yatarupe janiyam te tvurupinah. So generally the poets, the kavis, they desire such kind of grammatical rhythms. Then they're attracted, and also all the living entities, by hearing that, they will also get attracted. Here Brahma is saying, tatapi nata manasya, tata api nata manasya. So instead of that, of the one who is asking for nata manasya, so here Brahma is asking nata nataya natitam, and nada O Lord, O my dear Lord, Nadha, Nadhaya, please award Naditam as it is desired. So whatever I have asked, so please kindly explain. Tadapi Nada Manasya, Nada Nadaya Naditam. So it is here, Tha, it is the Tha. Sometimes it is Dha and sometimes Tha. There are two letters, Tha and Tha. This is Natha, Nathaya, Natitham. So this is Natha Nathaya Natitam Paravare Yata Rupe Jnaneyam Te Tvarupinah. Paravare, in the matter of mundane and transcendent. Para and Para Avare. One is the matter of transcendental and matter of mundane. Yata Rupe, and as it is in your form. Janiyam Te Tvarupinah. Janiyam, may it be known, or the, so that is your, tu is but, arupinaha, one who is formless, arupinaha. Rupinaha is the form, arupinaha is the formless. So Brahma is asking to explain under your direction how everything goes. Tata natayana, tatapi nata manasya, nata nataya natitam, paravari yatharupe, jnaniyam te tvarupinaha. So translation for this, can I request any dear devotee to read? There is no purport for this verse. Anyone would like to read this translation?
Can say
Hare
thank
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Sorry, Mataji, you can carry on.
Go, Mataji, please.
Very good.
Okay. Translation one day, yeah, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. In spite of that, my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane from, although you have no such form at all. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So here Brahma is asking. So here when Lord says, "Oh Brahma, you ask Varam Vare Badram Te Vare Shema Abhivanchitam, ask anything." So here Brahma is asking, see what kind of desire Brahma has got. He wanted to know about Krishna Katha, how Krishna is expanding, even though he is in the transcendental body, under his direction, how he would appear in this material world in the assume the mundane form, and also in spite of transcendental form. He will come Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya in his own form. Sambhavami Atmamaya. Even though you appear in the transcendental form, and also you have got some other forms, you assume the mundane forms also. So please inform all these things to me and fulfill those desires. He wanted Krishna Katha to hear directly from Krishna. So that is very beauty of the devotee. So tatapi natamanasya natanataya natitam paravare yata rupe janiyam te tvarupinah. He wanted to hear Krishna Katha directly from Krishna. So there is no purport here. So one has to desire. This Krishna Katha is it will cut the knot of the material world. It is cut the so this is sadhu vira tvaya prustam avatara katam harehe yatvam prutyasi maccanam mrityu pasha vishatanim. Yatvam prutyasi maccanam. Whoever asks such kind of questions, mrityu pasha vishatanim, they don't get that death again. That means no birth, no old age, no disease, and no death. Mrityu pasha vishatanim. So here Brahma wanted to hear that Krishna Katha directly from Krishna. So may we please informed, in spite of this translation, you assume mundane form, you have no such one. Please fulfill. I am praying to you. Please explain all these things to me. So Brahma is asking. Okay, we shall move into the next verse. What he is going to ask further. यतात्ममाया योगेन नानाशक्ति उपबृंहितं विलुम्पन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् बिभ्रद् आत्मानम् आत्मना यदात्मा maya yogena, and as much as your own potency by yogena, so it is by combination here. Nana Shakti Upabrumhitam, you have got various energies and combinations. Upabrumhitam by combination and permutations. Oh my dear Lord. Yata Atma Maya Yogena, Nana Shakti Upabrumhitam. You have got so many of his, so many energies. And then Vilumpan, Visrujan, Gruhnan, and in the matter of annihilation, Visrujan in the matter of creation or generation, Gruhnan in the matter of acceptance, Vilumpan, Visrujan, Gruhnan, Bibhrad Atmanam, Atmana in the matter of maintenance, Atmanam, Atmana, and oneself and by the self. So here he is asking, previously he was asking how you are taking in this material world. You are assuming mundane form in this material world, even though you are in the transcendental body, even though you appear as a Krishna in the transcendental body, and how you also assume mundane forms. And here, Yatatma Maya Yogena Nana Sikti Upabrumhitam Vilumpan Visrujan Kruhnan Bibrad Atmanam Atmana. How you create, how you maintain, how you destroy by your own internal potency. Likewise, he is asking, Brahma is asking. So can I request other devotee to read the translation and also purport as well, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, if no one is there. Yes, Mataji, please. Hare Krishna. Please inform me how you by your own self manifest difference energy for any inhalations, generations, acceptance and maintenance by combinations and permutation. The whole manifestations is the Lord Himself by diffusions of His difference energy only, namely the internal, external, and marginal, just as the sunlight is the manifestations of the energy of the sun planet. Such energy is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, just as the sunshine is simultaneously one with and different from the sun planet. The energy are acting by combination and permutations by the indication of the Lord, and the acting agents like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are also different incarnation of the Lord. In other words, there is nothing but the Lord, and still the Lord is different from all such manifestative activity. How it is so will be explained later on.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Mataji. So here Brahma wanted to know all Krishnas. This is Krishna Katha, Janma Karma Che Me Divyam, Evam Yo Veti Tatpataha. So Brahma wanted to know all this scientifically. So he is asking Krishna directly how you have entered and how you create, maintain, and annihilate everything. So please tell by combinations and permutations. Please explain all this to me. So here Prabhupada also giving explanation. The whole manifestation is the Lord Himself by diffusion of His different energies only, namely the internal, external, and marginal, just as sunlight is the manifestation of the energy of the sun planet. So this is Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. So this is the Lord's energies, Swabhaviki, Jnana, Balakriyacha. So such energy is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. So here when the Virat Rupa in the Mahatattva, Dhaivat Kshupita Dharminyam Swasyam Yono Parahman Adatya Viryam Sasuta Mahatattvam Hiranmayam. When he just kept his virya into this Mahatattva, and then what it does, all his internal potency, his energy into this, injected his energy into this material world. That energy, this material world is full of darkness, and then Vishwam Atma Gatam Vyanjan Kotasto Jagadam Kuraha Apibat Tevram Apibat, it swallows the Tevram Atma Praswapanam Tamaha. It swallows this darkness and ignorance. Apipat Tevram Atma Praswapanam Tamaha. And then that is the time, and then there are further these 24 elements will be manifested. 3 material modes, they all are Bhagavat Virya Choritat, by the Lord's energy. One after another they will create, and whenever everything is ready, all these all the ingredients, then Lord also enters with his as a Virat Rupa, and then that is the Anda, it is the egg. And when the Lord enters, and then first his face forms, and then nose and everything, the eyes and the mouth, all his body parts gets formed. And whenever all this form from his body is there, and whenever it is expanding from his eyes, there is the sun and moon and all, from all his different body parts, all the demigods manifest. From his toes, Vishnu comes, or Hari, and also from the intelligence Brahma, and from ignorance Lord Shankara. Likewise, all the demigods manifest. Agni Deva, Varuna Deva, Vayu Deva, everyone manifested. And then once they manifested outside of the Virat Rupa, they wanted to wake him. Now, even though demigods are manifested, everyone are manifested, here Hari also mentioned as the one in the form of Vishnu here, but Virat Rupa is still there. They wanted to wake Virat Rupa. So, and then Virat Rupa doesn't wake up. Even though they manifested, he doesn't wake up. And then once again, they enter one after another into the body of Virat Rupa. All this, once again, whoever manifested from the body of Virat Rupa, they enter back to wake him at least. One after another they try, but he doesn't wake up. And finally, there is a Chittam, that is called consciousness. When the consciousness enters, that is the pure consciousness, then he wakes up and sits. That is Virat Rupa. That is, so far he has got all the energies. And here when Krishna, he the consciousness, the pure consciousness, this is the Vasudeva, Yadahuhu Vasudevakyam Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam. That is called Vasudeva, the pure consciousness. Then Virat Rupa stood up. And until then, all the energies are working. But whenever Krishna enters, then only, whenever Krishna supports, then only Virat Rupa can act. This material world would act. So that is, such energy is simultaneously with one and different from the Lord. Just as the sunshine is simultaneously, this is the analogy again here, another analogy. Sunshine is simultaneously one with and different from the sun planet. The energies are acting by combination and permutation by the indication of the Lord, and the acting agents like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So we also see that Vishnu, even though he has appeared from the Virat Rupa's feet, and even though he entered, he did not wake up until the consciousness, until Krishna, that is pure Chittam, that is Chaityam or Chaitya, consciousness. or these are different incarnations of the Lord. In other words, there is nothing but the Lord, and still the Lord is different from all such manifestive activities. How is it so? Will be explained later on. So we'll see those things. How it is so will be explained later on. Okay. Likewise, Brahma is asking Krishna to explain all these things to me. See, so Brahma is so eager. So any questions from here in this purport or in this verse, the devotees? So this is the Brahma's very eager questions. Yata atma maya yogena nana sekti upabrumbhitam vilumpan visujan gruhnan bibrad atmanam atmana. Demigods, they don't have their power independently. They have to depend on Krishna. That is a Chaitya consciousness. That is Krishna. Complete Krishna. So in the Shri Brahmavaivarta Purana, in one of the places, it is also mentioned one pastime with I think one Gandharva, that is Upabarahana, that is Narada's pastime. And once there was just only 1 or 2 lines only, when he has when he left his body and went back, and then his wife was lamenting, my husband and Brahma and many people, you worship Krishna. Then when she worships Krishna, Krishna will come and sit in the body of that Upabarahana, and then he wakes up. So that means what we understand, Krishna is the complete spirit, pure consciousness. And here, Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam Yadapuhu Vasudevakyam is in the pure transcendental body. There is no material things. He is different from Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. These are Gunavataras, and also his Vishnu's Trini Rupani. Those are Karnodak 3 Rupas. Karnodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. So Krishna is different from all this. But these Krishna's forms, at the same time, they are Samana Dharma. They are Swamsha. They have got same energy as the Krishna, those Vishnu forms. But here Gunavataras, they are bit tinged with the material gunas, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. That is Gunavataras. And then further, so many other incarnations in the material world. Manvantras, Manvantra avatars, Manus, and sons of Manu, like that. So many other, just like so many small rivers flow into the ocean. Likewise, so many small incarnations, big incarnations, swarms, everything will be coming into this material world for the sake of elevating the souls to the spiritual planet. Okay, that is Krishna's energies. Okay, any other questions? Or we are already here to 8 o'clock. So next questions also Brahma is asking about all his activities, and he was also giving some analogy like the spider, how the spider is going to create its web and destroy, and it would maintain its livelihood by its own energy. And likewise, he is going to ask few more questions. So I stop here. And dear devotees, if you have any questions or you wanted to share anything, kindly share. Or you can ask anything. Or Hare Krishna. We will see this one in the next Saturday in continuation. Okay, so if there are no questions, we shall conclude this one and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
Namo Namaha.
अनन्तकोटिवैष्णव
Vaishnava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय everyone. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु
And